evening, everyone, and welcome to a special episode of Triple Child's Tale. This will be a topic show. I am your host, Luna Taro, and I'm accompanied by my lovely, sagacious host, best friend, witch in arms, Taruk Bashar. What's he, Taruk?
Hello, everyone.
And as always, if you guys are looking to link up with us on our social media, you can find me at Aluna Tarot on Instagram and Taruk Vashal also on Instagram. And follow our headquarters at Triple Child's Tale, where we will be posting this show topic. So this topic has been on my mind as well as Taruk's mind, if I could say that, for a while, just as we come and really open ourselves up to being a part of the spiritual community, the witchcraft community as a whole. And it has come to the terms, it comes with the terms of like basically it's trending witchcraft, over-trending unauthenticity within the witchcraft and spiritual community. And just to start this off, I want to set a little disclaimer, honey. We are not coming for anybody's individuality, aesthetic, expression, how they want to run their page, how they choose to promote themselves. We're not coming for that. We're coming from a place of like really calling out a topic that a lot of people don't talk about. We try to sweep under the rug. But it's basically this unauthenticity and this trending factor that goes behind the pictures and the postings on Instagram. So for me, being brought up in spirituality, being brought up in magic, being brought up in the craft, one of the first things that I learned was to know your work and to keep silent about it, because a lot of workings are very sacred. A lot of workings are and spiritual practices are supposed to be between you and the divine, or you and the spirit world, you and your spirit family, or whatever entities that you are calling upon or working with. And I just think with today's age and technology and social media, a lot of that sanctity has been breached. A lot of that sanctity has been breached because you see more often than not people displaying their workings, their offerings, their altars, their setups, spells here, conjuring workings here, sprinkles of some herbs over here, lighting candles. And it's like, is it really authentic, and is it really crossing the line? Because is the spell for you? Is the spell authentically for you if you feel the need to broadcast it to everyone to hashtag that you're a witch, or you're a spell worker, or you're a craft, or you're into the craft and things like that? What do you think about this, Taruk? I want you to speak a little bit on your perspective about the whole topic.
Well, you mentioned right now, is the spell for you? Now, that's very important, because is the spell for you, or is it for a client? I mean, should you be taking pictures of your altar? Should you be taking pictures of your work? Should you be taking pictures of your client's work? What are the repercussions? What can happen, to the work if one displays it right then and there? Like if you're over here, right now, doing a ritual, you're chanting, doing whatever, and then somehow you decide to take a picture of this, and you're posting it. What can happen? Like, what can happen, Aluna? What can happen if you're over here posting images, you're posting pictures, of clients' work, of your work, just live right now? Like, you're doing the ritual and you're taking pictures. Like, that to me is detrimental to the work.
Mm-hmm. I think it's something that you brought up, and I love the way you phrased it when we spoke about it earlier. You said taking a picture of any sort of sacred work, your altar, your spell setup, it's opening a portal. It's opening a nexus, and placing it on such a public domain like Instagram or Facebook or whatever, even your own personal page. And now to say this to the professional spell workers, I'm sure they know they got to cross their T's and dot their I's and keep their wards and protection up. This message is going towards the newbie witches, the ones who think that it's trending just to have crystals and wear black and, post that they're doing this in the new moon ritual to Hecate and my offering to Hecate and all this stuff, right? The repercussions that you could face down the line could prove to be detrimental because not everyone in the spiritual, not everyone in the craft community follows paganism, follows Wiccan of harm none, or believe in karma. There are a lot of left-hand path workers, okay, who can, off the petty of just coming on your page and seeing how you display yourself or how you write or talk about something, not like you, and go in and dismantle your spell work. Dismantle your whole, and you won't even know about it. What do you think about that what I just said, Taruk? Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is very true. I feel like a lot of these spiritual workers, they can be very petty. A lot of these spiritual workers, they will attack for no reason. They see something they don't like, and they will attack you, and I'm speaking because I know this, because I've seen this happen. Okay, a lot of spiritual workers, they are very quick to set off. They're very quick to ignite, very quick to just, want to lay into someone. They may see something that they don't like that you're doing. They may think like, well, who the hell does this new witch think he or she is, and I'll show you who a real witch is. So a lot of back and forth, a lot of competition here, that's going to be behind the curtains that you may not be even aware of, that there are some people who may just not like what you're doing, what you're posting. And yeah, some people do have the power to mess up your spell work, to dismantle your ritual work that you're doing for yourself or for clients, and you have to be very much aware of that. I feel like you need to keep your spell work, your ritual work, your altar personal and private. That's just how I feel about it. Some people may not agree with me, but that's just how I feel.
So I think because I know a lot of people do engage and they like to share and they like to bring a bit of broadness or awareness or just share for the hell of it to feel a part of the community. But I think the message behind this whole thing is not trying to stunt people's artistic or aesthetic expression, like I said in the beginning. This is just to be a little bit more aware. And also, I wanted to address this subject on the show because I've seen it happen a lot in the spiritual and craft community, which is the sizing up of other witches, other mystics, other practitioners based on what they choose to show or not to show. Let me tell you something, okay? Instagram, I know it might sound like, it's breaking. Instagram is not real, okay? We just have to break the illusion to people. Instagram is not real. A lot of pictures, a lot of setups, a lot of, altars and all these beautiful crystals and all, they got the statues and everything. It's made up. It's staged, okay? So people constantly, including ourselves or yourself included, you're going to orchestrate to have a certain, theme or how you want to run your page or how you're going to set that up based on what you feel is aesthetically pleasing and sometimes what you feel will get you the most validation. Let's be real about it. So I think to underestimate another practitioner based on just because they're not showing spell works or just because for the new moon they're not out there showing you that they're sitting with their coven or they're doing this and doing that, you really shouldn't size people up about that because at the end of the day, you don't know what people are carrying in their arsenal and what they're capable of. And I've experienced that myself in the community of kind of being like, oh, you seem like, you're just so sprinkles and this and this and that. Yes, honey, I am very much about walking in positivity and radiance and light. But I walk a middle path, okay? And I wouldn't want my enemies or a person that feels the need to come against me magically to know what I'm capable of. Because when I have to reach for the left, you know, to go in to slay, it's going to hit you by surprise. You know, the underestimation is going to be a person, and I'm not saying this to pump my chest or to Ruth, you know, that we're the baddest over here, whatever the case may be, but it's true. The less you know about a person, the more formidable they are. And with a lot of these trending witches posting and wanting to, oh, that I'm doing this and this is the, you know, this is the deity that I'm praying to, or this, and it's like, okay, so now I know what you're about. Now, if it does come down to it, and we have to go for not psychedelic, but astral blows for blow, I know what you're about. You know, so what do you think about that whole topic, Taruk?
I agree. I definitely agree that you cannot size up a witch based on what he or she chooses to post. You can't size up a witch on what you think her implements or utensils are, or how many crystals he or she has, or how many candles, how many stones, you know, and how many statues. That is irrelevant. That does not matter when it comes to magic. That is not magic. Objects are not magic. Yeah, you can infuse them with energy. Yeah, you can do those things, but the true power lies in the individual, okay? The witch is the one who can sit with no instruments, with nothing, just their will, and move mountains and create new galaxies and dimensions. That is true power. So it doesn't, you know, all of that, you know, pictures and all of that, that's for show. That's aesthetic. That's just physical, third dimensional crap. It really does not signify, or it's not a barometer in power and ability and magical skill. It's just not.
I like how you put that barometer, honey. And it's true. It doesn't measure up to your potency in the craft. It really doesn't. And I know a lot of newbie witches, people just getting into the craft, they kind of feel like, per Instagram, oh, well, this grand witch that I'm looking up to who has 10K, 15K followers, they got such a nice altar. Wow, you know, then I must not be a real witch, or I have to wait till I get to that point. No, that's ultimately not what it's about. And I feel like, you know, the things and the stuff and the materials, again, like Taruk was saying, it does not equate to your power. What equates to your power is your indomitable will, okay? The fire within your soul to get things done. And I've seen things move more quickly, okay, when me, myself, am more passionate, honey, one black candle and a writ from the sheet of my grimoire, honey, and it's moved. If I'm that passionate about it, it doesn't take all that. It doesn't take all the crystals. It doesn't take all these, you know, elaborate setups and tools and this to the left, this to the right, and that's just for show, you know. And you have a lot of aesthetic witches out there who like to promote that, and they like to look down on other practitioners and try to like rule them out or laugh them off because they're not showcasing spell work. And it's again, like I said, honey, like a lot of y'all better be careful out here who y'all underestimating, because at the end of the day, you know, the arsenal is definitely real for some of us. Absolutely.
And it's those witches you got to watch out for. Those ones the ones that you count out, the ones that aren't posting nothing. Those are the ones that you may not realize are laying into your mug, that are laying into your noggin. It's the ones that aren't posting nothing, the ones that are in silence. That's a true witch. And you know what? A lot of y'all, we shouldn't even be calling them witches. You know, these posers that are just taking pictures and posting, you know, altar setups and ain't got no real magic backing that up. Like, you know, y'all don't even deserve that.
And just to touch on that subject, you will be surprised the ones who have those setups, the ones who have the, oh, I'm a witch meme and the shirts and the clothing, and they're wearing black, and they're just all about this and this and that. You ask them, have they, you know, they're the same ones afraid to communicate with spirits. They're the same ones ain't really pulling no weight with no spell work. They're the same ones, you know, just at the bare minimum of understanding true, you know, true potency in magic and the true capacity in magic. You know, they'll be the same ones that they just started a few months ago. They just got into the craft a year ago. And it's like, honey, truth be told, Tariq and I have been in the game for quite some time. Okay, we not, and it's not trying to boast. Okay, but we do come from that OG phase of like keeping our shit silent because it's war out here. I know a lot of witches do, and a lot of pagans and a lot of Wiccans and things like that. They do have their denominations that are about peace and abundance and love and all that. And again, I share in that, but I'm not naive. Okay, we are not naive to the fact that it's a lot of petty, energetic, psychic vampires, okay, and just negative people out there that like to come and try to shake something up with the more peaceful crowd or the more docile crowd. And it's like, okay, girl, you got the right ones over here with the underestimation, okay? So how do you feel about that? That like, what...
I mean, you know,
I feel like we're over here just getting rowdy and stuff, but it's true. You know, it's like it gets to a point that it's like stop underestimating people and stop invalidating witches based on tools and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead.
Maybe it's a lesson they need to learn. Maybe they need to underestimate. Maybe they need to, you know, feel like they're the baddest. Maybe they need to feel like, you know, the ones that aren't posting. Maybe it's a lesson they have to learn. Maybe they need to get their ass whooped. Maybe they need to get dragged, you know, through the astral in order to wake up and realize that you cannot underestimate people, especially when it comes to spiritual work. You know, I feel like there's a lot of just undervaluing of people here. You know, y'all really don't know. Y'all cannot just create a portfolio or, you know, of someone you don't even know. You know, you don't know what this person is doing at home. You don't know what this person's setup is. You don't know the spirits or entities that this person, you know, knows and communicates with. You don't know this person's skills, you know, how they've been trained, how they've trained themselves. You don't know any of that stuff. So yeah, you are playing with fire. You are doing something very dangerous if you're over here, you know, kind of what's the word? You're kind of dismissing, you know, this person because they don't have flashy setups like you do. You're making a mistake, and a lot of y'all are going to pay for that, you know, and that's just what it is.
And again, to people just getting into the craft, just coming to the craft, just like ride your own wave, okay? Like that's the biggest thing that I think all of us in this are trying to channel for ourselves, because it's so much out there, and Instagram can be such a platform that makes can impose this feeling of inferiority. And I mean, obviously it's up to the person looking, but it can. You know, you see this grand person over here doing spell work. They got, every time you turn around, they posting, you know, fruits and baskets and this and that, and they're doing this and doing that. And it's like, well, dang, like I don't even got the money right now to get me a stick of sage. You know, like, am I really? Should I not even do? No, like get into it and work your way up, and don't pay attention to the hype. Okay, you know, for you petty witches. Oh,
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, for you petty witches out there who like to, you know, use that superficial, materialistic, because it's some of you that I see on your pages, you like to turn your nose down, and a lot of what we're supposed to be educating people. We're supposed to be, you know, embracing it. We're right now in this at this point, what's it, like the gateway, the portal, we're reaching over to the next phase of having like witchcraft and spirituality being so universally embraced, you know, on a wider scale. So why now do we want to turn into, you know, the IG superficial, oh, you can't sit with us because you don't have this. Oh, you can't sit with us because you don't have this. So you petty witches out there that like to size up people and not use your platform to teach and to educate and to uplift, okay? Like, the shit is going to come back and bite you in the ass, okay? And you really not shaking nothing, because in truth, a lot of you go at the same time while some of you sitting up here posting, oh, you know, a powerful witch over here, the baddest witch in town, but every time you turn around, you posting something that you got to go in on somebody. You posting something that people are coming in attacking you. You posting something, you don't have no peace. You don't have no peace. And I understand that, yes, all of us get frustrated. Yes, all of us, you know, we have to speak out against sometimes negative energy, negative attitudes, negative people. But it's just interesting. It's very interesting that you're that established and you're that built up and you got all this going on, but yet you're still going through the rut dealing with the bullshit. Okay? So what were you going to say, Taruk, about?
Basically, I was going to say, you know, about when it comes to buying things, you know, don't feel bad if you don't have the money, or even if you don't want to put money into buying these things. A lot of times it's not even that you don't have the money, it's that you have other things you want to spend it on, that you have other things that you rather buy because you know your true power. I know that, I know what my true power is. I know my will and my conviction, and I don't need, you know, to buy 50 roses. I don't need to buy, you know, 20 mangoes and, you know, 7 bananas and, you know, a watermelon and, you know, apricots and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to buy a 7-foot statue. Those are all things that people who, I don't want to shade nobody, but a lot of times, I'm not going to say everybody, but a lot of times those things people need as boosters to kind of put you in the mood, you know. But see, everybody don't need that to be put in the mood. Sometimes my spirit puts me in the mood. I don't need, you know, 20 things to kind of remind me of what I'm doing. I don't need 20 things to set me off and to trigger me into an altered state of consciousness. I don't need those objects. I myself have trained myself to know how to get into a trance. I myself have trained myself to get into the states of mind, the altered states that one needs to be in order to create magic and to push your will into the universe, to have your reality manifested into the third dimensional realm. You know, everybody doesn't need those objects. Yes, some people need robes. Some people need wands and, you know, athames and circles on the floor, you know, with the intricate just layouts and, you know, fabrics and all of this stuff, because all of those things kind of help the vibe of the room and help you. But see, everybody don't need that. You know what I'm saying? So don't feel bad if you don't want to, or you just don't care about that stuff. That does not make you any less of a witch. The witch is not about the clothes and the garments and the implements. That's not what it is. It's the will. It's your intent. You know. So that's what I wanted to say.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to address on the subject of this show? I feel like we pretty much covered the grounds. And again, this show, I guess people are going to feel how they want to feel and take away from it what they're going to take away from it. But at the end of the day, I think within the spiritual community, we don't need to be like these. What's the word? Like, it's a certain set that you see on Instagram, and I don't want to say within the makeup community or like but it's just like a sect of people. You have these people that really like to walk, like to act like they're walking on water because of material acquisitions and stuff like that. And it's like low key, no tea, no shade, but it's like I really don't see it. I still don't see it. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like the type of person in my magic that it's like, I'm gonna need to see them natural disasters in that state that you live in being nullified. I'm going to need to see, why is Donald Trump, all these bad witches out here and all these offerings and setups and stuff like, why are we sitting here with the president that we have? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on with the state of the world? While you're over here just flaunting, and showing off and not really promoting any positive message besides that the only message you have to your page is that you're bad because you're a real witch with all your stuff. You need to move past that because that's not what the spiritual community is about. It's not. So that's just my per se on it. Again,
definitely.
Run your page, honey, how you're going to run it or how you choose to. But just be mindful, okay? People do watch. And, you can have your wards and stuff like that. But guess what? Time does go on. Wards do fade. And I'm sure the ritual that you posted or your little altar picture that you posted in your room, in your personal space, your sacred space from 6 months ago, unless you really about that life and you keeping up with it, a person can come in, honey. That's a portal. That's a nexus. Come in and tear your whole shit apart. And a lot of you, it's like, that's just, I'm not even gonna, because I feel like now I'm getting into my fire, and I don't want to, that's not what this is about. That's not what this is about. It's just kind of sad to see, that's what makes up being a real witch on Instagram. And I'm not gonna fall, my listeners out there, don't fall for that. Don't fall into feeling like you have to keep up posting every day, posting that you're doing rituals, posting that you're doing it. No, like at the end of the day, we all have lives and responsibilities outside of Instagram. Instagram is not real, okay? So just because someone's not posting that they're doing something, or don't take it like they're not about that life, okay? They're not about that life. And don't feel yourself that you have to keep up with that to prove to people that you're about that life, honey. Your magic and your spiritual path is individual, it is unique, and it is your own. And that's all I'm going to say on that note. So, Taruk, do you want to say anything to close this out?
I think you pretty much nailed everything right on the head,
I try.
Yeah, so I guess let the kids know where they can find us.
Again, if you guys we are open for personal readings, and that's another thing, honey. The skills are going to speak for themselves. So Taruk and I are available for personal tarot readings. You can find us at Aluna Tarot or at Taruk Bashal, where this video will be posted. We will leave our links. You guys can contact us for personal one-on-one readings, in-depth readings, honey. And let's get these bookings, honey. Let's it's not about the stones and the stuff out here. I think the testimonials and the real services that we provide speak more volumes than the stuff. So with that, did I sound like that? I'm sorry. With that, thank you guys so much for listening in with us. We wish you all the best and well wishes. Good night, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Good night.